Now at 9, first responders in Pittsburgh save a woman from inside of a house fire. Plus,
I spoke to a local firework vendor about the tradition of setting off fireworks on New Year's Eve. I'm Melissa Alexis, and I'll have the story coming up.
And authorities in Afton, Oklahoma search for a man in connection with last week's public dumpster overfill.
The 4 states' most watched news starts now.
With New Year's Eve comes annual traditions. This is KOAM News at 9. I'm Samantha Walker. One popular tradition is to watch or set off fireworks. KOAM's Melissa Alexis spoke to some people about their New Year's Eve traditions.
Many people have an annual New Year's Eve tradition they like to follow, like making black-eyed peas for dinner, eating 12 grapes at midnight, or even spending the holiday with loved ones.
The tradition on New Year's Eve is spending time with my family,
which happens to be 4th grader Brady Strukel's favorite way to spend the holiday.
It's my uncle. He comes down and I really never get to see him, and that's just a special time for me.
Another New Year's Eve tradition is watching or setting off fireworks, which is why the seasonal fireworks store, Central City Fireworks in Joplin, is open.
A huge U.S. tradition, but especially in our area, there's not a lot of public displays for fireworks. So we do have a lot of customers that want to come in and shoot them off themselves.
Something she wants to remind people as people are purchasing fireworks to celebrate New Year's Eve is to remember safety precautions.
Make sure you brace them up when you light them. You can put a concrete block on either side of them. You can stake them with some rebar.
According to the U.S. Consumer Product Safety Commission, over 9,000 people were treated at emergency rooms for injuries involving fireworks in 2023. Which is why the manager at Central City Fireworks takes specific safety measures when she sets off fireworks.
At our celebrations is we put a barrier between us and the crowd, whether that be a table turned on its side or a piece of plywood, just some kind of barrier. If something would happen and it'd get away and tip over, it would hit the barrier instead of the crowd.
She says while Central City Fireworks tends to see a bigger influx of customers during the 4th of July, fireworks are also a great way to celebrate New Year's Eve.
It's fun, it's an adrenaline rush, it's exciting, it's beautiful. Fireworks are just fun.
Reporting in Joplin, Melissa Alexis, KOAM News.
Coming up later in the show, KOAM's Lonnie Walton tells us more about another New Year's tradition, making and sticking to those New Year's resolutions. Some places in the 4 states have already kicked off their New Year's celebration. St. Bridget Catholic Church in Scammon, Kansas got in on the holiday fun today with a Ring in the New Year bash. The church invited kids and adults of all ages to the event to take part in some fun and games, such as flip, clip, tic-tac-toe, and yummy milk and cookie martinis.
We're a pretty small parish, but and we don't have a lot of kids, but we're excited to get together with the kids that we do have.
The event ran from 10:30 this morning until they ring in the new year. Meteorologist Lindsay Gaffney joins us with a first look at weather.
Well, happy New Year's Eve. We're heading into the start of 2025 and it's going to be cold. Current temperatures down in the mid to lower 30s and even getting into the 20s, 29 out in Yates Center, 30 in Iola. So it's going to be a cold night with a northerly breeze. Clouds are going to start to break up here in the next several hours and into early Wednesday morning, with our temperatures being a little bit below average. Our highs are still getting into about average, lower 40s tomorrow with sunny skies. So clouds start to break. We're gonna have a nice New Year's Day, even though it's gonna be a little cold. And then we head into the weekend with the potential for some snow with an Arctic blast that's moving in Saturday night. But I'll have a full look forecast coming up.
Thanks, Lindsay. First responders saved a woman from a house fire in Pittsburgh yesterday. The report came in around 4 in the afternoon when a caller said she was still in the residence. Pittsburgh police arrived first on the scene and forced entry into the house in an attempt to find the woman. Pittsburgh Fire Department arrived shortly after and managed to remove the woman to safety. The woman received minor injuries but was treated at the scene before being released. Responders contained the fire to the room of origin and extinguished it without any structural damage or fire spread. Authorities respond to an SUV versus motorcycle crash outside of Carl Junction. The crash took place around 2 p.m. Monday at the four-way stop of Lone Elm and Fountain Road. Authorities say the Chevy Tahoe driven by a 16-year-old failed to yield to the motorcycle. The 33-year-old Joplin woman driving the motorcycle suffered serious injuries. EMS transported her to Freeman West. She has since been transferred to Springfield for a higher level of care. Coming up as we look back on the start of COVID-19.
5 years after the first official reports of COVID-19, the WHO wants China to tell the world how it happened. I'm Greg Falcott in London. That's my story. Coming up.
Relief is on the way for Medicare beneficiaries with high drug costs. We'll tell you about the big changes coming in 2025. It's been 5 years since COVID first emerged, but the controversy over how it started is not going away. Fox News senior foreign affairs correspondent Greg Falcott has more from London.
It was a pandemic that changed the world. Exactly 5 years ago, December 31st, 2019, health authorities in Wuhan, China, alerted the World Health Organization about a cluster of pneumonia cases of unknown origin. At first, we called it coronavirus, then COVID-19. It ended up killing millions around the world, and the virus is still with us today. Now the WHO is urging China to come clean and share data about the origins of the outbreak, calling it a moral and scientific imperative. China pushed back almost immediately, saying it has not been holding back information that could have saved lives, and suggested the criticism is politically motivated.
China has always upheld the spirit of scientific openness and transparency. At the same time, we firmly oppose any form of political manipulation.
But significant questions remain about exactly how the pandemic started. The Chinese government claims it was a natural spillover from animals to humans, possibly from a so-called wet market. But many lawmakers on Capitol Hill and President-elect Trump suggested COVID-19 was developed in a Chinese research lab and leaked out into the city of Wuhan. Trump has hinted he might withdraw the U.S. from the WHO unless the organization gets tougher on China.
We're ready to work together.
Trump initiated the process for pulling out of the WHO in 2020, but it was reversed 6 months later when Joe Biden took office. In London, Greg Falcott, Fox News.
Medicare beneficiaries who take a lot of pricey medications will get a bigger break in 2025. That's when the $2,000 annual cap on out-of-pocket costs for drugs from pharmacy or through mail order goes into effect. An interim ceiling of $3,500 was in place for 2024. The limit is one of the 2022 Inflation Reduction Act's provisions to lower prescription drug prices for Medicare enrollees. Before the law, there was no cap. The AARP estimates more than 3 million enrollees who do not receive Medicare's low-income subsidy should benefit from the $2,000 cap. Lindsay is next with a complete look at the forecast. And later, start the New Year's off right. Expert tips on how to build your savings and pay down debt.
Well, it is about to be 2025 in the next couple of hours. Let's go ahead and take a look outside downtown Joplin from the Cornell Arts and Entertainment Complex. We still have some clouds over our area, but no rain chances, so we are still getting to enjoy the holiday, although it will be a bit cooler. Now, lower level clouds will start to break up as we head into the morning, but the rest of the evening is going to be pretty cold. Temperatures dropping down, so we're already in the mid to lower 30s. Temperatures dropping down through the 20s with our overnight low down to mid 20s, and the wind chill values are going to be about 5 to 10 degrees cooler than the actual temperature, so it's going to feel like we're in the upper teens to low 20s. It's still going to be pretty cold. Now, let's look at our future track as we head into the evening. Still that overcast, skies, but they will start to break up as we head into tomorrow morning. Now, by 5 a.m., we're already down in the mid to upper 20s, and then by 7:30, that's where we hit our overnight low. So we're getting down to about 24, 25 in the northern counties, and then 26, 27 in the southern counties. Clouds will move out of the area. Temperatures warm up to the lower 40s, about 43 in Joplin, 42 in Yates Center, 41 in Nevada, 44 in Veneta, Clear skies though for most of the day, so it's about 3 p.m. in the afternoon, but we do have more clouds moving in Wednesday night along with a warm front that's going to be moving in. Now, it's not a massive warm front. We're only getting into the mid to upper 40s by Thursday, but a cold front comes in as well on Thursday. So until then, we get to enjoy our nice New Year's Day forecast with sunny skies and low temperatures in the 40s. Now, looking at our future track as we jump into the weekend, we already talked about we're going to have a little bit of a cold front on Thursday, maybe some rain showers, low chance, and then we head into Saturday. Clouds start to push in. We have winds out of the southeast, and then we're starting to see the potential for some rain, winter mix kind of precipitation as we head into Saturday evening. So this is about 11:30. We're starting to see rain mostly earlier in the day. Then we switch on over to a sleet, freezing rain. When we get a little bit closer to this event, we'll know the difference between the two. And that's going to be for mostly just Saturday. We're having mostly ice and rain. Then, as we get into the later hours, Saturday evening into Sunday, we go more from a winter rain mix to snow and freezing rain mix. As that cold front pushes through early afternoon on Sunday, then we switch over straight to just snow. That's going to continue through most of the evening and into early Monday morning. But let's start off with the ice accumulations. This could be some pretty dangerous driving conditions if we get 1/10 of an inch of ice to almost an inch of ice, especially down in the southeast. So starting off the system with ice and then ending it with snow, with the chances getting into about 5 to 12 inches of snow for most of us, especially further out east, then about 1 to 4 inches of snow, especially out west. So we have this chance for a big Arctic blast moving in this weekend. That's going to be our main concern as we continue through the start of the new year. And then temperatures drop pretty significantly following that system down into the lower 30s for highs and teens, and maybe even lower than that for the lows. So that's going to be a big system. We're going to drop down in temperatures with more snow to come.
Thanks, Lindsay. Coming up, with the new year comes new budgets. How some relief from inflation. We'll tell you which everyday products actually dropped in price this year. A new year means making new resolutions, and as we wrap up the holiday season, you may feel like you have a debt hangover from all that spending. In today's Consumer Watch, Jen Sullivan talks to a financial expert on how to boost your savings in 2025.
As we turn the page on a new year, financial experts say now is a great time to reevaluate your budget and add more money to your savings.
Create a budget, to review a budget, and to adjust the budget accordingly.
Mark Hamrick with Bankrate says the first step is to separate spending by want and need. Create a spreadsheet and calculate all housing expenses, whether that's a mortgage, rent, property taxes, and home insurance, utilities, food expenses, car payments, and phone, internet, cable costs. Experts recommend having 3 to 6 months worth of expenses in a savings account. But in a recent Bankrate survey, 56% of Americans say they do not have enough emergency savings to cover 3 months worth of expenses. And over a third of people say they have more credit card debt than emergency savings. Hamrick says if you do have debt, paying it off is crucial.
We just got through the holiday spending season, and many people will be experiencing a New Year's debt hangover at a time when credit card interest rates remain close to record highs.
Hamrick suggests putting money into a high-yield savings account, which means you'll be making higher interest on that money.
You need to shop around for the best rate so that, you're really optimizing how you're putting the money into this account.
You can also look into a CD account. For Consumer Watch, I'm Jen Sullivan.
Despite inflation, some everyday products actually dropped in price this year, while overall prices of everyday goods and services were up 2.5% from January through November. A number of items cost less. Home heating oil during was down nearly 17% during that period. Gasoline was down 7.6%, and used car prices were down 4.6%. Also lower, men's suits, women's dresses and outerwear, toys, frozen baked goods, crackers, and canned vegetables. Next, a daring rescue for a furry friend in Pittsburgh. How a cat stranded on a power pole found safety and love. Evergy to the rescue for a furry friend in Pittsburgh. Take a look at this. An every employee rescues a brave cat stuck at the top of a power pole outside the Pittsburgh State University Natural History Reserve. The adventurous cat is now safe and warm, getting plenty of love while staff make sure he has a safe, warm place to call home. 30 more minutes of news, weather, and sports coming your way. Coming up, what are goals people are going to be doing for their New Year's resolution. Plus, we mourn many people we've lost this year.
You're watching the 4 states' most watched news.
We each hope for blessings and success in 2025 and strive to endure challenges. KOAM's Lonnie Walton spoke with some folks at the North Park Mall in Joplin who hope to do just that.
My New Year's resolution is to beat cancer.
Joe Erie is a 40-year-old father from Kansas. Right now, he's battling testicular cancer, the one he says should be the easiest cancer to fight, but unfortunately, not for him.
Keep getting better, but it keeps coming back. But I fall on a 2%.
We also met Jonathan Fleshman, who says he's also battling his own demons.
A recovering addict that's been struggling for a very long time.
And he admits he's made a few mistakes.
Wrong people, wrong places.
But his mother is doing what most look forward to doing in the new year.
My New Year's resolution, I've lost 140 pounds so far. I walk to get healthier.
Yep, and as you may know, that's number 1 on the resolution list.
Exercise, eat healthy.
My New Year's resolution this year is to lose some weight.
Just eat better in general.
And I guess you can imagine what's on the younger minds these days. School.
Hoping to get good grades this year.
New Year's resolution is to not fail all my classes like I did this year.
To graduate on time.
Basically, like, graduate.
Is to graduate on time.
And with that said, both Erie and Fleshman says they have a few words for those battling demons.
My faith in Christ.
And if you don't have a family, at least find God, because that's where it's at.
And that was the biggest advice from these Joplin residents, to never lose hope and never give up. Reporting in Joplin, I'm Lonnie Walton, KOAM News.
According to a Forbes poll, New Year's resolutions last only about 3 months on average. And just like national polls, most folks Lonnie spoke with said they've struggled to keep their previous resolutions. They were treasured actors, beloved musicians, the center of the trial of the century, and the center fielder who made the catch. Those lost this year left an undeniable legacy behind, and we remember some of them now.
I am your father. One day, Simba, the sun will set on my time here and will rise with you.
Eye the tiger, come on.
One second, West throws it up.
He was a master at understanding how to bring in the right guy at the right time.
Hello?
Buddy, I think we have to talk. Buddy.
There's nothing simpler than avoiding people you don't like. Avoiding one's friends, that's the real test.
It is time for another season and another purpose under heaven.
He was getting dressed for the party, and there's truth and poetry in that.
A two-time All-Star and a Gold Glove winner.
Good morning. I'm Charles Osgood, and this is Sunday Morning.
Could be the start of something good.
goes, swing. There it is! There it is! Get out! Get out!
I did not bet on baseball.
Yes, I did.
Only thing you miss is being young. Chance to do it all over.
I think I'm gonna have to go supersize. With a good move pass.
One of these guys going to walk off this court and say, today I am the greatest player in the entire world.
The green's that way. Sure.
What would you do if I sang out of tune? Would you stand up and walk out on me?
Women and children first.
You have no power here.
Gonna wash that man right out of my hair and send him on his way.
Feeling good was good enough for me. Good enough for me, Bobby Boogie.
We'll do that in 2 and 2. Be right back.
The 20 and falls ahead of the 15. That does it. He broke the record. There he goes, getting off at Sunset.
Find the defendant, Orenthal James Simpson, not guilty of the crime of murder.
Lindsay is next with a complete look at the forecast. But who will be the next Speaker of the House?
Will the current Speaker of the House be the next Speaker of the House? I'm Doug Luzader in Washington. We'll have more on the big battle playing out this week on Capitol Hill coming up.
Well, it is about to be 2025 in the next couple of hours. Let's go ahead and take a look outside downtown Joplin from the Cornell Arts and Entertainment Complex. We still have some clouds over our area, but no rain chances. So we are still getting to enjoy the holiday, although it will be a bit cooler. Now, lower level clouds will start to break up as we head into the morning, but the rest of the evening is going to be pretty cold. Temperatures dropping down, so we're already in the mid to lower 30s. Temperatures dropping down through the 20s with our overnight low down to mid 20s, and the wind chill values are going to be about 5 to 10 degrees cooler than the actual temperature, so it's going to feel like we're in the upper teens to low 20s. It's still going to be pretty cold. Now, let's look at our future track as we head into the evening. Still that overcast, guys, but they will start to break up as we head into tomorrow morning. Now, by 5 a.m., we're already down in the mid to upper 20s, and then by 7:30, that's where we hit our overnight low. So we're getting down to about 24, 25 in the northern counties, and then 26, 27 in the southern counties. Clouds will move out of the area. Temperatures warm up to the lower 40s, about 43 in Joplin, 42 in Yates Center, 41 in Nevada, 44 in Veneta. Clear skies though for most of the day, so it's about 3 p.m. in the afternoon, but we do have more clouds moving in Wednesday night along with a warm front that's going to be moving in. Now, it's not a massive warm front. We're only getting into the mid to upper 40s by Thursday, but a cold front comes in as well on Thursday. So until then, we get to enjoy our nice New Year's Day forecast with sunny skies and low temperatures in the 40s. Now, looking at our future track as we jump into the weekend, we already talked about we're going to have a little bit of a cold front on Thursday, maybe some rain showers, low chance, and then we head into Saturday. Clouds start to push in. We have winds out of the southeast, and then we're starting to see the potential for some rain, winter mix kind of precipitation as we head into Saturday evening. So this is about 11:30. We're starting to see rain mostly earlier in the day. Then we switch on over to a sleet, freezing rain. When we get a little bit closer to this event, we'll know the difference between the two. And that's going to be for mostly just Saturday. We're having mostly ice and rain. Then, as we get into the later hours, Saturday evening into Sunday, we go more from a winter rain mix to snow and freezing rain mix. As that cold front pushes through early afternoon on Sunday, then we switch over straight to just snow. That's going to continue through most of the evening and into early Monday morning. But let's start off with the ice accumulations. This could be some pretty dangerous driving conditions if we get 1/10 of an inch of ice to almost an inch of ice, especially down in the southeast. So starting off the system with ice and then ending it with snow, with the chances getting into about 5 to 12 inches of snow for most of us, especially further out east, and about 1 to 4 inches of snow, especially out west. So we have this chance for a big Arctic blast moving in this weekend. That's going to be our main concern as we continue through the start of the new year. And then temperatures drop pretty significantly following that system down into the lower 30s for highs and teens, and maybe even lower than that for the lows. So that's going to be a big system. We're going to drop down in temperatures with more snow to come.
Still ahead, there's not much time left in 2024. KOAM Sports Director John Dales looks back at the biggest stories of the year in the 4 states. That's up next in sports.
On this final day of 2024, it's time to look back at the previous 12 months and all the excitement that came with it here in the 4 states. Here are the most viewed local sports stories of the year from our website. We'll start with the #1 most viewed story of the year. That comes from the spring when the Joplin Outlaws announced they were under new leadership and would be switching leagues. After several seasons competing as a member of the Mink League, the Outlaws left to join the Mid-America League, which was in its first year of existence, and under the direction of that new ownership, the Outlaws went on to win the Mid-America League Championship in August. Our second most viewed local sports story of 2024 is the Webb City 12U All-Stars advancing to the Midwest Regional Championship. Webb City Little League is quickly becoming one of the most consistent powerhouses in our area. 2024 marks the 3rd consecutive season that it has won the Missouri State Championship. This year, Webb City won its first 3 regional games in Whitestown, Indiana, which sent them to the championship game, and they got within 1 win of advancing to the Little League World Series in Williamsport, Pennsylvania. Coming in at number 3 on the list, this was a big one. Leon Miller returns to Frontenac High School as its head football coach. He held that position from 1989 to 2005, and he led the Raiders to 1 state championship and 2 state runner-up finishes in that time. In his first season back with Frontenac this fall, Miller helped guide the Raiders to an undefeated regular season record and a CNC League championship. The fourth most viewed local sports story of the year belongs to the Diamond Wildcats softball team when they beat Willow Springs 13-3 in the Class II semifinals and advanced to the state championship. I'm a bit surprised that this one had more views than just 1 day later when the Wildcats did in fact win the Class II state title. But nevertheless, this was one of the most special teams we had the privilege of covering in the 4 states in 2024, and it's fitting that the Wildcats would finish their season with a state championship. Rounding out the top 5 is the season preview for the Pittsburgh High School football team. I'm not really surprised that this story makes it on the list. I know the passion for high school football runs deep in the 4 states, and the Purple Dragons obviously have a ton of local supporters. This year's Pittsburgh team put together a very solid season. They went undefeated against SEK League opponents en route to a 6-2 regular season record. They lost to the eventual state champion St. Thomas Aquinas in the regional championship. Now, we don't have time to give you that entire top 10. For that full list, head over to our website, KOAMNewsNow.com, or on my Facebook, that's Dales KOAM. Here's one more for you from the next 5 most viewed stories. That's Pittsburgh State football and Ferris State setting up a home-and-home series for the 2024-25 seasons. The Gorillas won the 2024 season opener against the Bulldogs 19-3. Ferris State did not lose another game all season. They went on to win the Division II National Championship. And again, like I mentioned earlier, you can catch all those top 10 stories on our website, KOAMNewsNow.com. It's also on my Facebook.
It's great to see just how much you guys do cover and how many different sports and just everything that the 4 states are interested in.
Yeah, there's definitely a lot going on here from January until December.
Yeah, well, it shows. Well, that's a look at sports. We're back with more news after this. We're headed for another showdown in Congress this week as Republicans are facing another possible crisis over electing a Speaker of the House. Current Speaker Mike Johnson is hoping to survive into the new year, and as Doug Luzader reports from Washington this morning, he got a big boost yesterday.
President-elect Trump held off for a time, but now he is backing Mike Johnson for Speaker. That's good news for Johnson, but with extremely tight margins in the House, it may not be enough. The U.S. Capitol could be a much different place by the end of the week.
Do you have the votes?
I think we do, Kellyanne. Just last night, current House Speaker Mike Johnson sounded optimistic that he will be re-elected Speaker on Friday, and perhaps he has good reason. After being on the sidelines, President-elect Trump suddenly weighed in yesterday, posting on Truth Social, Speaker Mike Johnson is a good, hardworking, religious man. He will do the right thing, and we will continue to win. Mike has my complete and total endorsement.
He and I work so well together, so closely together, and we have a lot of big things to do.
But not so fast. One Republican congressman, Kentucky's Thomas Massie, says he's a no on Johnson, posting on X, I respect and support President Trump, but his endorsement of Mike Johnson is going to work out about as well as his endorsement of Speaker Paul Ryan. And with the margins in the 2025 House, Johnson can only afford to lose one other Republican. And some may be a tough sell, angered by Johnson's deal with Democrats to avert an end-of-year government shutdown.
I can give him a chance, but I would like to hear from him how he's going to be delivering this agenda and what plan he has, and he hasn't been doing it.
Others in the GOP will back Johnson, even if it takes some time.
We'll be there on Friday and Saturday and possibly Sunday, so I think we'll have it resolved by this weekend.
Now, many in the GOP are hoping to avoid what happened the last time they elected a speaker, a protracted drama that played out over the course of about 3 weeks. In Washington, Doug Luzader, Fox News.
Coming up, we mourn more of who we lost this year. They were some of the biggest icons in pop culture and beyond. We take another look at those we lost in 2024.
Dr. Jones.
Yeah.
1, 2.
We are the world. We are the children. We are the ones who make America.
We shouldn't have ran. Yeah.
Would you like to have a roll in the hay?
Tipped in by Johnny Goudreau.
I can't take any more scares. Stop eyeballing me, boy. I'll rip your eyeballs out the sockets. What's the matter with you? Cut me loose. Kunta Kinte.
Now you know how it feels to be free, fiddler.
See, they're McDonald's. I'm McDowell's.
And I'm not here because I'm a player. I'm here because of managing.
trouble.
Hi, I'm Patty Simcox. Welcome to Ride Down.
The way that you are is enough. Everyone else in the room can see it.
Ricky goes, a pitch ticket, he's going to have it. He does. Representing number 939.
But today, I'm the greatest of all time.
Don't hang back. I'd love it.
Good evening, everyone. I'm Greg Gumbel.
I, Jimmy Carter, do solemnly swear.
Mr. Sutherland!
I have a problem, as everything.
1, 2, 3.
Don't let the old man in.
That's our time for tonight. Thanks for joining us. We'll leave you with a video of a panda-themed drone show in Hong Kong. Have a great night and an even better tomorrow.